we are creatures of creation. You know, we create. We are all mini gods that are constantly creating realities. What we're doing right now is creating in this 3D matrix. We have to create on levels that are even higher than that, and we have the ability to do that. So that's something that we have to start working and exercising and becoming aware of those realities that are available to us. Because while we believe that we can only create 3D things, gluing things, sewing things together, we can do much more than that. We have the ability of creating on multidimensionally, and that's how we heal ourselves, that's how we can heal others, that's how we can change this reality, this existence. And I think that's where our intelligence is coming into now. As we are going into a new dimension, we talk about the 5D reality, the 5D planet that people want to say, a different planet. But what that means is we're coming into different intelligence, different forms of communication, like light language, where this is where we start to talk about geometry, sacred geometry, vibration. We are understanding metaphysics, different forms of physics and mathematics. This is a new vibration. It's a new construct of reality. I mean, it really comes down to our every moment. And the very first thing is to check our emotions. I saw this hilarious meme the other day that said, every moment you smile, a reptilian goes hungry. And that was so funny. I thought that was so hilarious. Oh my God, because kind of true, but not all the way. You know, and really what that means is, you know, who are we contributing to with our vibration, you know, every moment of our day.
Yeah.
And so the way we talk about creating things, like with our emotions, we are creating things, we are creating thoughts, we are creating realities. So just be conscious of your emotions, and every time you have an emotion, ask yourself, first of all, is it even mine? Or am I picking up an emotion from my neighbor? Because a lot of us are very empathic, and we want to connect with people. So we have to become our own individuals, because that's how we start to unify, believe it or not. By becoming individual, consciously aware of our individuality and our power as an individual, we become consciously connected to each other. Because now we are owning our experience on an even higher level, as opposed to handing over our power to the experience and going with the flow. You see, it's not going with the flow of experiences, it's going with the flow of whatever you know, is the common thought or the common emotion. And that's a mistake, because that's where we start going into rivers of unconsciousness and actions. So our thoughts and our emotions are the first thing that we have to focus on, okay? And our internal work, our meditation, you know, sometimes I feel like meditation is like, I say that and people like cringe, like, I don't want to meditate. But, you know, we have to make meditation something that is like brushing our teeth, like washing our face at the end of the night, like putting on our underwear. Like, do you leave without underwear? I don't know, maybe you do, but don't leave without meditation, because meditation is your protection, it is your consciousness, it is your presence, and it's your ability to dominate and this matrix reality. So there are tools.
But how am I to know the good side from the bad?
You will know when you are calm, at peace, passive. A Jedi uses the Force for knowledge and defense, never for attack.
It's this neutrality. Neutrality is really important, because I believe that through my journey, neutrality is the integration of all dualities.
Yeah.
And when we get to that neutral perspective, everything becomes simple, it becomes easy, because now you are flowing without losing or taking anything. There is pure balance, you know, and that's where the empowerment of the man comes in.
That's me. That's me. And that's 3 people. And I'm going to help them. But it has to be something really big. Something they can't do by themselves. So I do it for them.
5D is not about service to self. It's about service to others. So that's why everyone is being called to find a new identity. And we're being called to find that new identity, to find what our gifts are, who we are, who did we come here to play a role, what are the gifts that we have been given since the very beginning of our essence. Our true soul identity is what we are finding, and that soul identity is what holds the keys to many different gifts that we are coming into. Some people that didn't know were healers, that were working in the corporate world, have now become healers. They didn't believe in any of this, are now talking about these things to millions of people. So, I mean, there's so many different examples, and that's what 5D is all about, how the consciousness is now being united to serve, to heal, and that is necessary in order to heal our planet. Look at Mother Earth, look at the suffering that the planet Earth is going through with everything. I mean, pollution, our oceans, our nature, our animals are suffering. So we are coming to the point where we are integrating. Everything is integrating, not just our soul, but the collective consciousness, and our reality is being healed. Because the dimension vibrationally is at that high vibration, the priorities change. They're not thinking about, let's buy this pretty purse anymore. It's about what can we do in order to provide assistance for our brothers and sisters around us. And that's where the economy is changing as well. It has to change. It will change. As each person wakes up and finds what they need to do, we're pulling away from contributing to the system that is no longer working for our reality. Immediately over the past year, I went from working in the corporate world to working on teaching people how to integrate their soul. So that's what I'm doing, is teaching the techniques of healing trauma, reprogramming DNA, because what I'm understanding is that the way to leave the reincarnation cycle is by healing the DNA, by reprogramming or deprogramming from all of the programs that we have received over the lifetimes and storylines that we've lived here of pain, of loss, of suffering, of struggle, all of those things that have taken away from our soul in pieces. That's what we are rebuilding our soul basically now. And that's what I'm here to do. In addition to that, shedding light on the reality of the existence of extraterrestrial life and the role that it plays in our lives, and yet understanding the much bigger picture of that. Because I don't want people to get stuck on the idea of extraterrestrial life feeding off our life force and then that's it, full stop. That's not the end of the learning cycle. That's the beginning. Because when you understand that, you got work to do. That means that you need to work to get out. And if you want to look at it as the reptilians or the Dracos doing these things, or you want to look at it as a virus on the planet Earth, or you want to look at it as a bad government, I mean, it doesn't matter how you look at it. The end goal is the same. We have to heal and integrate the soul so that you can leave this projection of life on this planet.
Have you ever stood and stared at it, marveled at its beauty, its genius? Billions of people just living out their lives, oblivious.
Like I said, what helped me get through that quicker is seeking truth, always looking for truth, the truth of the bigger truth, and then of the bigger truth, not just settling for one thing that, sounds cool or is enough, or being afraid to go further than that. Because I find that a lot of people have, all the information available to them, but they're afraid. They're afraid to dive into that information. They're afraid of what?
And you're talking to me about healing through belief.
You're a man looking at the world through a keyhole, and you've spent your whole life trying to widen that keyhole, to see more, to know more. And now, on hearing that it can be widened in ways you can't imagine, you reject the possibility.
No, I reject it because I do not believe in fairy tales about chakras or energy or the power of belief. There is no such thing as spirit. We are made of matter and nothing more. You're just another tiny, momentary speck within an indifferent universe.
You think too little of yourself.
Oh, you think you see through me, do you? Well, you don't. but I see through you.
You're afraid of losing your comfort zone, but how comfortable are you? You know, we have to stop being hypocritical about what is healthy, you know, health. I think our perception of health has been so tremendously skewed that we believe that being in a successful job, working 80 hours a week and not even eating right or being in nature is healthy. That's not success to me. You know, that's not success to a lot of people. And our paradigm is shifting. So let's not be afraid of all possibilities. And if information is not for you, take what you can, what will help your soul evolve as high as possible, and then keep going, you know, always searching for the truth and being true to yourself, using your own internal guidance system. That's you know, the only thing you can tell anybody that has trouble integrating this, because I understand it's a lot to digest. It's a lot. Yeah. But you know, we got to start somewhere. Our soul, which is basically a projection within our human body of our essence, which is above us, which is our higher self. What we have is a higher self. And the higher self is that all-knowing interdimensional essence of who we are. And it's connected and available to every single one of us, any moment. And that's what we are connecting to. So, for example, in our session, in the work that I do, I activate the 13 chakras. And those 13 chakras represent the cycles of evolution that we are currently going through in this matrix reality, in this dimension. There are 13 coils to this evolution cycle. And each one of those is a different dimension. There are different aspects of ourselves within that, but those are integrated within the higher self. So as we are evolving, we are reintegrating all those aspects of ourselves, and that essence, that concentration of intelligence is what holds the information to the infinite, to everything. So what we're doing when we connect to our higher self, when we start to embody, open the channels physically within the body to hold that higher vibration by running energy, by closing the first 3 chakras, opening, accessing that higher vibration, we have to train our bodies, because just the way we're talking about the difference between a low vibration human and a high vibration human, our bodies are only going to hold as much vibration as we're capable. And that even has to do with the information that we're able to process. So we have to train our bodies. We have to work with our physical bodies to enter the 5D. That's what I'm doing right now. It's like, when we do these meditations of running energy, we are clearing the physical 3D blockages that are holding us to this lower dimension reality, allowing us to enter higher vibrations. And we enter higher vibrations, which are also activating higher strands of DNA within the body. And so this is connected. Our higher vibration of ourselves and the DNA is being altered. Because again, this is information that we're processing through the computing system of the human body. But our essence is that higher self. So in all of these regressions, you know, we access the higher self. That's what we're doing. We're opening. And that's why when people go through the regression and they have connected to that channel, they have connected to that transmission of that information, they are buzzing for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, because they continue to hold that vibration until it lowers. The vibration lowers and lowers and lowers. But we have to maintain it. So, you know, it's just a matter of training the body.
All you need to do is be conscious about your choices and responsible for your actions.
Is that why out of all the people you could have taught, you chose me?
You chose me.
Why should I believe you? You taught me yourself to only listen to my own intuition.
How do you know that I'm not your own intuition speaking to you right now?